Hi folks, this is John Solari. We're back with the Method Actor Speaks. And we have John Mathews and Sharon Farrell. And we have two different types of acting going on here. But I first want to get back to John Mathews. We were talking about inside the actor's studio.
Right.
Where this is more real.
Yeah, and let me just say this, don't get me wrong. When I watch the program Inside the Actor's Studio, I'm entertained by it.
Right.
And I think it's intriguing. I love listening to the actors being interviewed by John. Is it John?
No.
Lipton. Mr.
Yeah, Lipton.
And he's a very good interviewer. So this isn't a criticism of that show at all, other than what they call it.
Right.
They call it Inside the Actor's Studio. And to me, what I see when I've watched maybe 20 hours of your interviews here now, this really is more representative of what the spirit of in the actor's studio really is. So
originally, my show was called Outside the Actor's Studio.
Oh, interesting.
And Lipton got after me. They called the studio.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't want it to be called that. I could afford it.
People do that. I just hate it when people stomp on you. You know. I mean,
but I like the Method Actor Speaks.
Oh, I love.
I like that too.
I think that's a better title.
I always say you
Janine
are
Tree,
from
the woman who
you're a member of Actors Studio.
She gave me that name.
The Actors Studio.
But even the Method Actor Speaks actually takes it away from the institution a little bit.
It does.
And as much as I love the Actors Studio, the actor cannot get caught into the institution of it.
Right.
And
point.
Same thing with the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute. It's an institute. It's an institution. They have great training there. But the actors cannot get caught into the institution.
Was Andy Salvo there too when you were there?
No.
Oh, she was taught there for a while.
Oh, wait a minute. The name sounds familiar, but I don't know that
Yeah. Well, she played one of my favorite movies, my favorite year. Well, I love that movie, with Peter Sellers.
Yeah. Oh,
Sharon worked with Peter in The Stuntman.
Peter O'Toole.
Yeah, I remember that movie. That was a great movie.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
So,
it was fun.
Yeah, you're going to show me something.
Oh, I wrote a book. And it's called Sharon Farrell, Hollywood Princess from Sioux City, Iowa.
Hold it up a little bit there.
I think what you should do is write a book about driving Lee Strasberg. Wouldn't that be great?
That's what I said.
I mean, you've got to have, and just...
There are quite a few stories.
Well, you probably get into a lot of trouble. But
well, you know...
So what? Maybe you pop your career out again.
You know, I'm not afraid of getting into trouble, but I think that as I was a member of that family, and I respect that being brought in, that I could write it in a way that it would still be revelatory
and fun
and still respectful, because I don't have anything bad about it.
There's nothing bad.
There's nothing bad about it. It was a
that
dream.
doesn't sound like it was any fun then.
Doesn't sound like an interesting book, she said.
Yeah, maybe it might not be as interesting for people to read, but I tell you, as a young actor. Given that opportunity.
Any actor would want to get that book.
Well, I think so.
Anybody who loved acting would want to know what he was really like and things he said to you.
Yeah, there's things like that.
Yeah.
Experiences that were very unique and very, very, very special. And I've just recently told the stories. Because when I left and I went up into San Ynez Valley where I live, I didn't tell anybody I was an actor. I didn't tell anybody I was from LA.
Really?
You just did the carpenter thing?
Yeah, I just went into construction and I was managing construction sites and stuff, and I just didn't talk about it. And because you know what? Yeah, one of the reasons I left is they were going, God, look at your experience and look at your connections. Why haven't you gotten anywhere? Because that's so much LA, right? LA is
why haven't you made it?
Yeah, why haven't you
made
made
it?
it?
Hanging around this town for so damn long.
It's like,
you must not be any good or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and I didn't feel that way personally because I knew that I had been doing theater and.
Well, you were so involved with Actors Studio.
Very much.
That it
could be.
You gotta get out and work on the career because Actors Studio is like a little haven, a little safe place for people.
Yeah.
I mean, you're safe there.
Yeah, the Actors Studio wasn't so much of it. It's more the Institute where I was really safe being a teacher there, and I felt. I mean, I was helping my students. My students now that I'm kind of touching base, they're going, where'd you go? And they're writing because I'm trying to teach again, so I'm asking them to write some words about me, and some of the things they're saying, oh my God, it's just like I did have an influence and an impact. When you walk away, you don't You don't even want to look at that.
You don't realize what you have until
Right.
you can kind of get away
Yep.
and you look at
And
it.
this is
and
why I'm
then you
interested in
come
your
back.
story, because you had the same story.
Yeah, because I retired.
I mean,
I got out of town and I went to Fiji.
I can so relate
and
to it.
I just left, and it's like I was basket weaving and fishing
Yes,
and snorkeling,
living.
and yeah, I was doing a lot of
Living.
And it's like, but all of a sudden, well, I wanted to start class there. I wanted to start.
You wanna
I
start
wanted
teaching?
to start teaching there.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I had enough money to get a theater and everything.
Yeah.
But my partner said no. You can't do that. And then he wouldn't let
He's
me.
afraid.
You know.
He's afraid he's going to lose you.
Oh, it will. He
That's
did.
a good.
But I mean, and all the Fijians, you know, I mean, I wanted them to write and to like get up on stage
Yeah.
and do their thing,
Yeah.
and I'd photograph it and
Right.
let them see back what they did so they could make themselves better. Because I think watching daily, seeing, you know, you try to do something and you think, am I doing it or not? And then you see a playback and you can see if you've done it or not.
Right.
You know, I mean.
That's very helpful. This new technology
Oh, this new
is
stuff
really
that's
going to
going on
change,
is-
changing everything.
Yeah.
Even the way in which you teach just an acting class.
Yeah.
I've never worked with a camera. I'm going to.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
always just been on
Wonderful.
the stage, and then you know you go off and try it somewhere.
Yeah.
But now with these cameras,
Yeah.
where
Or you're listening to someone say, "Well, this is what you did," and you know,
Yeah.
try to do this and try to do that, and you're like,
you
"I
forget.
thought I did that.
Or you-
That's what I was
yeah.
doing. You didn't see any of that." You
Yeah.
know, it's like it's so hard
Yeah,
sometimes.
it is.
But I think it's very exciting.
Well, it's
these
too bad you
days.
didn't-
This is your time.
It's too bad you didn't have an opportunity to follow that dream there and teach. Have you ever taught before?
No, well, I coached Michelle Pfeiffer on a
And
TV
that's
show.
different. That's wonderful. Coaching is an art itself.
Well, it
but
was like
teaching's
when
a
we were
different
like,
deal.
yeah.
It's way different.
Oh,
a lot of
teaching.
people in LA don't get that. They
Yeah.
think they got one
Lots
of
of exercises and stuff that
Yes.
you know that you pick up from all kinds of people.
Like
You know?
what? What kind of exercises are
Well-
you talking about?
Well, just you know, walking around in circles and you know being a grumpy old man and just acting like a grumpy old man, and then you're a prissy school teacher.
Right.
You know, and then you keep walking around and you turn into a day laborer who doesn't want to be there, and a preacher, and then you just turn into different characters, and you just walk around in a circle, and the teacher's yelling out, you know,
Yeah, and
just say be an elephant now, and everybody be a piano player that is about to go on stage, and he's very nervous. Just
There's a commercial going now. I don't know if you saw it
exercises.
with James Earl Jones
Yes.
and the British actor where they do that exercise of repeating
Right.
the same
It's
words.
the Sandy Meisner
Yeah.
technique.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is great. I mean,
Yeah.
the way it's just a wonderful commercial.
Right.
And I'm saying the audience doesn't realize that that's a great exercise.
Yeah, it's like who would understand that commercial except for an actor?
Right.
But it's wonderful. I
Speaking
like
of acting, now when you were at the Institute, did you go to Jimmy Ray? I mean, not Jimmy Ray. That was in New York. The Rainbow Room. Did you ever go over
I
there?
used to go to the Rainbow.
The rain check
Yeah.
room. The rain check.
No.
There was a bar, the rain check
the bar,
room.
It was a bar. Shelley
Everybody,
Winters used to
Shelley
be
went
there
to
with-
everybody from Active
with,
Studio. You used to go there.
Yeah, no.
We were
No,
talking
I-
about agents. My
remember
agent
that.
and your
We had the
agent.
same agent, and we
Sharon
didn't
DeBoer.
realize it. Sharon DeBoer.
She used to
Yeah.
call
and
up the
Morgan
bar for me.
Paul.
Walter Hill was doing a movie. I think it was called Extreme Prejudice, and I was up for that.
Yeah.
And she called me at the bar. You know,
She
used
knew
to
how
call
to
it-
track you down.
at the yeah.
Oh, she
and
was
I went over
wonderful.
there.
She was a wonderful actress.
She was, yes, but she was
a
a
fabulous
great
actress.
agent and a great person.
Oh, she's just so
And
fun.
it's just we just found out today we had
Kinky.
the same agent years ago.
Wow.
But I'm surprised you never went to the rain check room. It was for everybody from the
No.
studio and
If
it was
I'd been there,
right up the block there.
Yeah.
That was back a little
Well,
back
the,
further, wasn't it? It was
well, it's in the 80s. I
60s.
wasn't there.
Oh, I was
Oh
there in
yeah,
the
I was
60s.
I was at the Institute in the 80s.
Yeah, everybody went there. I remember. Oh God, we had a lot of fun in that bar.
You
They're in the-
flipped from one bar to another.
There and Theodore's, which turned out to be then it was a Silver Spoon.
Oh, isn't
Did you go there, the Silver Spoon? And That's where Shelley Winters and everybody used to go.
Yeah.
Shelley Winters was something.
Yeah, you know, my kids came along, and so I was in.
Oh,
Oh,
you
know,
you're
I
a
was,
family.
Yeah, I was
You-
I was working,
you
and then
gotta
I'd
go
go home
home.
and take care of the
Is your
kids.
bride in the business?
Hmm?
Your
No.
bride, no?
No. Cindy's in the financial world.
Oh, so you
And,
need
yeah,
that as
so
an
she
actor.
was in
That's nice.
banking, and then went on to work in private financial for people up in the valley. A very notorious type name. I'm not going to give it out now, but yeah. So
You'll
she's
get in trouble with her.
yeah, it's better not. But so you know, it's still connected to the industry, so it's very interesting. You know that she still works for a family that's connected. But she knows. So she was always giving, you know, that steady income, and then our two girls came along, and that really did change our lives a lot. And
Oh,
once
kids
our oldest started to get ready to go to high school is when we moved to the valley. We moved out of the San Fernando Valley. We lived about 10 minutes from here, 5 minutes from here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Reseda. So then we moved up to the valley in '97. '97 we moved away.
Oh,
A lot was happening right then too. It was a transition time. I don't know if you quite remember that. And it was just after the earthquake. We were here during the earthquake, and the earthquake was underneath our house, not in Northridge.
Oh my goodness.
It was under our house. Our bed fell out a foot and a half underneath us. It just went, boom,
wow.
and then we hit it.
Oh my God.
So that was, you know, anyway.
I was in Topanga during that time, and nothing. I mean, my house is just on solid rock.
Right.
Nothing moved. Nothing
Right.
even fell off
Right.
the ledge or
Right.
anything.
It-
But
it-
boy, people really.
were you here?
There was some.
I was sitting back and forth
their
because
pool water would come
Yes.
out.
Oh, yeah,
and I mean, everything.
Yeah.
This is a horrible.
yeah, but I was living in Sherman Oaks then.
Still,
when
you
it
got it
happened.
there.
Yeah, oh yeah. But I was in New York when it happened at the time.
Oh.
You know, so
Yeah,
I
it
really
was pretty
didn't.
amazing.
I remember my first experience with earthquakes. I thought it was like the subway. You know, when
Yeah.
you stand in New York
Yeah.
and the subway goes by, you hear the rattle.
Yeah,
It didn't bother me.
This was a little heavier than the silver. It was like for 45 seconds.
Wow.
Whoa.
I knew it was a big one.
Yeah.
That would be
It's
But
amazing.
that's not the reason we left. But it was around just after that time, and
Where did you move to?
We live in a place called Solvang.
Oh, Solvang.
Yeah.
That's like a little. It's like
It's
a
a Dutch
tourist,
yeah.
wonderful
They built
tourist
it as a Dutch.
Dutch.
You know,
city,
that's
village, a
that's
Dutch
another
village.
reason I worked on Hamlet. All the Danes are there. But,
Oh, might
just
have
a
had
joke.
something to do
Might
with
have,
it. You never know.
but there are really great people up there. It's a small valley. The whole valley
Nice
is about
and clean.
about the size of the San Fernando Valley. And I got to
Mm.
be careful about talking about it too highly because they don't want everyone to know. But there's only about 20,000 people that live in the whole valley. The size of the San Fernando
It's a
Valley.
couple hours drive from
Yeah,
here.
it's a little under 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were coming that far.
Yeah, and it makes it difficult for me to go to the studio every time.
yeah.
Go to
Yeah.
the studio.
But I'll tell you
drive in
what
for
might happen
interviews.
is I have an acting class started up there in Solvang already, and I'm trying to build that and get that solid. But I do think I might branch out down here to LA and try and have a class here in
Well,
LA
what's the name of
once a
your
week.
school up there?
It's called John Mathews Actors View.
Okay, is that a website?
There is that's the
So
website.
I'll just put on.
JohnMatthewsActorsView.com is the website, and then I have a Facebook page, John Mathews Actors View, and then I'm trying to develop a theater up there in Solvang that's been sitting there for 20 years and maybe been used 10% of those 20 years.
Well, there you go. She's
that
looking to
sounds
teach.
wonderful. That sounds
And it's called the
wonderful.
Terrace Theater, which is also a Facebook page. You can take a couple looks at some photos that are in there. But we are right now, I'm so excited about this. I'm currently trying to develop the use of this space as a real commercial theater, where right now it can't be because it's not handicap compliant. So we have.
You can do that.
We have, well,
You can do that. You
I
can
can
do
really help
that.
them. Yes, because we're
Well,
talking
you're a
to
carpenter,
architects.
is that what
Yeah,
you're
I-
saying?
Carpenter, he
well,
can help with
I
construction.
know how to get the architects and the building permits and all that stuff.
And
So
I'm sure the people of Solvang would like to get behind you. and like
everybody
get
we
you.
talked to is so excited about it. So we are going to have to raise some funds, and I'm meeting tomorrow for a meeting that we've been doing for 2 months.
That's great.
With a very influential person in the valley, and so we've got some really good business support already behind it. I'm really excited about it. How it's going to get used, I don't even care yet. I just know that if we get it up and running,
Oh, it'll be used. You're
We'll-
going to be putting on
I'll-
plays
I'll put
there.
stuff
We'll
in
be
it.
driving up
Yes,
to Solvang.
and maybe
to
we
see
can
you.
bring things that are working in LA and bring it
Yeah.
up there, you know, and give it another couple of weeks of run up there. As well as there's a theater group comes out of Santa Maria called the PCPA. Have you ever heard of the Pacific Conservatory of the Performing Arts?
No.
We are so lucky to have them. They're 30 minutes from us, and they have a conservatory that's built off of a community college, and they have a $4 million annual budget. And they produce maybe 6 to 10 shows a year, and the teachers are all professional. Most of them are equity actors, and so they get paid, and the students study with them, and then they all work on these productions, and so we get professional quality productions at half the price. I mean, $35 a seat, and you're seeing something that could be at the Mark Taper.
Wow.
So we're really, really, really lucky, and that can also feed into the Terrace Theater as well. But right now in Solvang, I'm also on the board of directors of the Solvang Festival Theater.
Sounds like you do so
I'm
many things.
I'm doing
Are
a lot
you
for
Pisces?
I'm doing a lot for free. I'm an Aries.
Aries.
But the outdoor theater that they built 40 years ago is a 700-seat theater. It's an outdoor theater, and PCPA brings 4 shows a year down. So we see Cyrano de Bergerac and West Side Story and a 700-seat outdoor theater. It's just wonderful. So I'm on the board of directors of that, and I keep very busy doing all that. But the pull to come back and be a teacher and to look for quality acting work is above and beyond that.
Well, you'll just have to you got to focus on one thing though, man.
You
Not
know,
always,
so
not
scattered,
always.
It seems like.
it is a lot, but at the same time, I
Well,
find
if you just keep doing it, and
I-
then something will break, and that's the way you're supposed to go.
Yeah, I'll just something will take me in a direction. But
Yeah.
there's
I
still
do
time
that.
where I feel
I
like
do that.
I'm like I can't really do anything right now. I have to be patient. So
that's
there's
so hard. It's
there's still
impossible to be
holes in my time. So I'm not totally overcome with things to do, but it is a lot.
But it's
And
good.
I'm
You're
always-
throwing out all these things, and then
Yeah.
whatever you make plans, and God has other ideas.
Yeah,
And
I
it's like
gave up. I
with
gave,
that
I
big
gave up.
battery in the sky,
I gave
or
up trying to
whoever it
control
is.
that a long time ago,
Yeah.
which is what I needed to do.
But you have to do as much as you can towards something, and then you let go of it.
Yeah, I try to let go every day now. That's what yoga's helped me. It's like
Yeah.
you work hard and
Meditation
let
is
go
wonderful.
every day, every moment.
Yeah.
And because I have a tendency to hang on to that and chew on it,
Chew
and,
on it
and,
and
it,
let
and, it,
go,
and it takes
yeah.
me places in my
Well,
mind.
you're
that I
not.
don't
You
really
don't
need to
do
go.
that anymore.
A lot less. A lot less.
You just
I
drop it.
do about 7 hours of yoga a week.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And I'll cut back later, but I feel like I'm trying to catch up a little bit because.
You make every day a dance.
Yeah, 30 years ago, people told me I should do yoga. I went, I'm too busy. But they were right. Should have done it then. It works for me.
We got phones.
It's not mine.
No, just keep talking.
Yeah.
So are you gonna go to some interview down here today? You have something cooking today?
I guess we can talk about this because by the time this comes out, it'll be done. Anna Strasberg's in town. I've been thinking about maybe calling her because I haven't talked to her and haven't seen her in over 15 years.
Oh, you gotta do it.
Yes.
Where has she been that she was in Europe?
She's in,
Moscow? Where was she at?
You're thinking about Lola.
Lola.
Cohen, who is a contemporary of mine. She teaches at the Institute in New
No,
York.
no, I saw
Lola,
Anna was somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, she's gone there, but she spends most of her time, I think, in New York.
She's
Oh.
back in town, and you're gonna.
Yeah,
get
she's
together
doing
with her.
a scene night over at the Institute tonight. I saw it on Facebook, so I know she's here. So
Oh, that's
I
great.
thought maybe I'd
So-
just go drop in on her.
Oh, that you gotta do it. You
Yeah.
have to. You have
Well,
to.
this is going up to today. I don't.
Yeah.
We'd probably be up too late to get over there. But if you do, just go over there today. This is what today's the third, fourth.
November
Fourth.
3rd. Is it the 4th?
It's the 4th.
November 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's on my things to do list, and also my daughter Julia, my youngest, is here in town, and I want to meet with her a little bit.
How old are your kids?
Julia's 20. I'm going to get this right. 22, 23.
Is she in the business?
You know, she wants to be in the business.
Really?
She's just graduated out of UC Santa Barbara. She was a lit major, and she wants to be a writer. So there's the writer in the family.
Where's your phone?
Is that me?
It's all right. Let's sit there.
Okay, yeah, because nobody ever calls me. It's probably somebody selling, solar stuff.
That's my name.
They call
Solari.
Yeah, you have a good answer. I already got that.
I have one of those. Thank you.
But anyway, back to Julia. She wants to become a personal assistant. To learn how the business works and
the production area.
Yeah, the production side of it. Yeah, she's having a tough time getting just an entry level job, but she'll get it. She'll get one.
Oh.
But it's hard. It's hard.
In the breakdowns, they have like listings of all of these jobs every once in a while.
Really?
They have all the listings of all the jobs and all the every once in a while it comes out. I'll email you it when it comes out. I'll email it to you.
Okay. My older daughter, Laura, she's in Seattle and she just got her master's in psychology.
Gosh.
And she works at an eating disorder house for teenagers. She's the head counselor there now. She started out as just...
That's a big thing in this business, eating disorder.
Yeah, the eating disorder thing is just really hard. And I mean, she's a regular family therapist, but she's focused on that, and has specialized in that for the last 5 years.
So your kids turned out good, huh?
You could speak on that, Sharon.
We did good.
What is that like? The eating disorder, the weight, and how you look, especially as a female.
Oh, I tried. Everybody was doing it. I had all kinds of girlfriends. You just stick their fingers down their throat after they ate. I would have done it, but I couldn't do it.
But you have natural, but I mean, you know a lot of women that really worried about their weight and stuff like that.
Everybody thinks they're too fat.
They do.
Everybody thinks they're too fat. And it's so funny because I remember I did this film, I can't remember the name of it, but I did this film and I got down to 120. And it was like, I looked so scrawny and gaunt, I looked just horrible. And it's like, you just have to look, you can't worry about it. You just have to be who you are.
Right.
I
like...
And I like what's going on
women.
now because in the films and television and everything, I mean, my favorite shows, those girls, those strange girls, the young girls that are like...
I don't know which one yet.
The Kardashians and all of them?
There's just so many. She won all kinds of awards. She writes, produces, directs the whole thing.
You're talking about the web series you're doing.
Oh, Broken at Love.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it wasn't. But I am doing a web series, Broken at Love, which is lots of fun to do, and it's amazing because they use a camera and a sound man, and they shoot a whole half-hour show and.
In one take, like one take, right?
Well, no, you kind of like do that scene and then you move the furniture around,
Right. That's what I like about this too, is that you get to see yourself in an extended take.
Yeah.
You don't get that opportunity very often.
Not even on interview shows or anything,
Right.
because before you go out on stage on Johnny Carson, before you go out on stage, they say, now don't talk about this and don't do this and don't do that. And of course, that's the last. That was always what was in my head, and that's what I always talked about, is what they told me not to say.
Yeah. It's probably why they told you that.
It's like...
I don't know.
I don't know,
and
really,
even the news programs, I remember when John Mathews died, they were out at my house. I thought he was on his way over to pick up some of his wardrobe and stuff, because we had just finished shooting and everything. And they came out, and they'd ask me questions. Did John take steroids? And I said no, because he was a sexual animal. He was so scared that if he took steroids that he wouldn't be able to perform, that he hated steroids. He was just a great big huge giant.
Yeah.
And
he was worried he'd become too aggressive, because they do that to you.
And then, he never took them, because he was nuts anyway.
Yeah.
And then they asked another question. They asked something else. And I said, oh yes, I used to have to sneak in and chase him and keep him away from that, because he was just impossible. He'd just disappear when we were working. And they put it together, steroids, and then they would cut it and edit it. So I said he was on steroids.
Yeah.
So I looked like you said.
I didn't trust the news. I don't trust anything I see on the news anymore.
Right.
Well, here we don't edit.
Because they want... They want an audience.
I had a few people want to know. I said, listen, this is what goes out.
Yeah.
What we do is what goes
because a
out.
lot of,
Don't
yeah,
call me up and
that's
ask me to
so
cut
amazing.
this out or cut that out.
Yeah.
So anybody out there that wants to come on the show, you have to know that. What you see here is what you get here.
I knew
You're
that
not
before I came.
Yeah.
I got that right away. I said, "Whoa, you gotta go down there. You gotta be ready.
This
Just let it go."
This director, there's a web series out now. I mean, I love my own web series, Broken at Love, but it's about
Yeah.
kids.
Who's the girl that plays the
I'm like-
bitch? The diva with the long black hair?
Oh, Carolina Sivas.
No, she's the young girl in it.
Oh, the one who plays the aunt.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't.
Really, very-
Oh, Renee.
Whoever she is, I loved her. She got a lot of talent. I was watching her last
Yeah.
night. I love to interview her.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we can't get her to do anything. We try to get her to like be on shows with us and everything, and she just doesn't. She's looking for. What does she say? She's looking. I don't know. She's going through some things. She's
As
looking
most of
for
us are.
someone, a sponsor. She's looking for a sponsor.
She's an actress.
Yeah. And she was married to a big. She was married to some rock star at some point.
Well, we'll talk
I
about
don't
that
know.
on
Yeah.
another show.
Yeah.
We're getting
I
ready.
don't know that much about her, but she is very good and she's very sweet and very nice.
Yeah, she's very
But
talented.
it's like I wanted to get together with her and like, like really try to like do some things, and she's not.
You
wasn't
told her
really
on the
interested.
show, you're so
Some people
mean.
are passionate, and some people go after work and business, and some people don't want to go there. They don't want to have to do shows. I don't want to be interviewed. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Because we do this love match every Tuesday, and Carolina Sivas has invited all the cast, and they're just not they don't know how to do on the computer, and they, you have to learn how to work the computer these days, because every submission is it's electronic.
It's all changing, and that's why I think people can live outside of LA now and still.
Yeah, you could live anyway.
You
Just
have
One of
Actors
them-
Access, and you have
Right.
LA
It's
Casting.
all changing. It's going to change
and
even
you're
more
set.
in the next 5 years.
yeah, because I've been
More.
telling actors, if you want to come on the show and do a monologue, I'll do it for you, and at a good price, really cheap. And
Yeah.
then you could send it out, do a monologue
Right.
or a scene where you're sitting there, and I put it
Right.
on DVD for you,
Yeah.
and you have it.
Yeah.
And you could
Yeah.
cut it and do whatever you
Yeah.
want
Once
with it.
once you give it to them, then they can do whatever they want with
Yeah.
it.
they want.
Yeah.
So it's
It's all.
It
this is the way, and the web is the new media. Everything, television will be gone in another in time.
I'm
They'll be charging us to be on
Everything,
YouTube.
Have you
soon,
done any
know?
auditions on Skype? I'm hearing that people are auditioning on Skype.
Skype is expensive now. Skype.
I
is
was
like-
telling somebody
I
that
thought
you
it
have
was
to pay
free.
for it.
Yeah, you got to pay for Skype now. They
It's like
charge
$10 a
they charge
month,
you,
I
yeah,
think, or something.
$10 for so many minutes or
Is
something.
that what it is? They
And
get
it's like
mad?
it's going to go up.
But I'd rather pay
But it
that.
was free.
Pay for
I
that
want
than
it
a casting
free.
person.
Oh.
Well, John, before we go, do you have any? What are you working on now? And give your website out again, please.
Yeah, the main website is the John Mathews ActorsView.com, and there's also a page on Facebook, the John Mathews Actors View, as well as the Terrace Theater on Facebook.
And you're on Facebook.
And I'm on Facebook.
And you're looking for your friends that you taught.
Yeah,
To get
and
back
in
in
fact,
touch
I
with
talked
you.
with Victoria after her.
Oh, yeah.
After I got off the phone with you,
She
called
did
me.
great shows.
Oh,
man.
it was fun. I thought you were marvelous,
Wasn't
by the
she?
way.
Wasn't she?
You really need to try and capture that somehow. When she said, "You've never been hit," have you?
I have it on. It's on there.
Well, you
seen
were
that one.
electric.
Actually, I'm
You
making.
haven't seen it?
I haven't seen that
I'm
one.
making the
remember it?
DVDs
Do you
now
remember?
of that.
He's making, yeah, I do, because she really got me upset. She said,
I know,
"Oh, women
I know.
deserve to be smacked around.
That was a classic scene.
They need to be raped."
I didn't know if I should leave it or
I want-
shut it off.
Well, I'm glad
But
you captured it.
I did.
because
You know,
you can
I
always
said
edit it, but
I can't edit it. I don't know how to do
He
it.
doesn't
But
do
I'll
it.
tell
He
you-
doesn't edit. I
I'll
like
tell
it
you
like
that. That's a discovery kind of thing of like when you find that in a rehearsal process. Now, okay, how do we get that into the scene? There was no scene.
No.
This was just an interview kind of thing going on, and out of that came high drama.
Yes.
You were like electric.
Well, yeah.
Man,
It was
it was
wonderful.
so true and so raw, and I felt so bad for you.
Hold up that book
Yeah.
one more time, my lovely, so we can
Oh yeah,
Great.
well I
And this
talk about all
name-
that kind of stuff there, but
say
I
the
don't
name
know.
of it.
Oh, it's Sharon Farrell, Hollywood Princess, from Sioux City, Iowa.
Wow. Gotta
And I want to thank you folks
Yeah.
for coming on. This has been great.
I don't know whether I'm
Thank
gonna. I don't know.